Good night, everybody. Chin the Dolphin. Welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. I have to say, we rugged ourselves with that. The people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn need to know, as we say good now, sticker packs coming, hopefully a new mug coming, and in the sticker pack, Neil, I'm looking at you. Some illustrious artist, I hope, will design us that perfect image of Will the Dolphin with just breaking the waves. So look forward to it. Stay tuned. It's coming, and you are tuned into the Rise Up Morning Show.
Good morning, the Rise Up Morning Show.
That's right. It is your place for helpful news, commentary, and, of course, answers to your crypto questions. And today's answers to crypto questions come from the woke up a little bit late department of the morning show, but it's morning somewhere and we're ready to go. So thank you for being here with us. If you haven't yet, do us a favor, follow these accounts. There are only official accounts. We will never directly message you. We will never solicit you for advice or money, but our impersonators will. The best way to protect yourself is by following our official accounts. And while you're at it, you got your thumbs at the ready, take a screenshot of this or of this if you're over on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and join the Rise Up Discord server. It's totally, absolutely.
Do it now.
Absolutely free. Do it now.
No.
It's the best place to learn with a community of others from all over the world. The only thing missing is you. And we are here Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to bring you this show. So no more ado. That might be the best commercial I've ever done in terms of how quick it went. So
that was good.
I'm going to give myself a point.
No, there aren't any points in the morning show. How dare you?
I'll forget it by next Wednesday. It just makes me feel good, man.
Well, you're also forgetting. The
game
is rigged. The game is rigged. The game is rigged.
We did have a really good game last night, though. Blake came by and gave us a killer episode and a lot of good sound bites. Like, I go on a lot of dates and crypto pill them. And also gave us some really helpful analogies. Like, sometimes there's a really great marketing team. Sometimes there's a really great product team. And you can't wrap what did he say about wrapping a piece of shit in tinfoil? I don't know. It was a great episode. Check it out on the YouTube.
Ugly baby bias.
Oh, ugly baby bias. Yeah, that was
ugly baby bias.
Extra point for Blake for that one. That was good.
That was my point.
I thought he said it and you latched onto it.
No, I said ugly baby. He said ugly baby bias, but I brought back the memory of ugly baby bias to the show right now. And right now is when we're earning points, not last night. That's my point.
You're right, Will. That should be my point. Well said.
Son of a bitch. This game is rigged. I hate it.
Oh my god.
So mean, they're bullies.
Will, if you want to earn a real point, I haven't looked at the market in about 3 or 4 days. So can you help? What's happening?
Well, it went up and then down, and then it went up, and then now it's going down for
the
2
old
days.
Classic up and down.
In my dream last night, I was driving home early in the morning in a car that wasn't mine from the passenger seat and trying to get to the driver's seat when I looked at my phone, I don't know why, and saw that Morpho was at like $5.30 in my dream. And I was like, hell yeah, Morpho.
Hell yeah, Morpho.
That's how you know you've got a problem.
Man, I've Morpho pilled you guys so hard. This is great. But yeah, no, so I mean, if you look at the chart and let's see. No, wrong window. Present.
While you're pulling it up, someone asked what wallet to use. There are so many. Hey, we get it. The best wallet to use for crypto is the one that works best for you to use consistently well. We recommend you get started with an exchange like Coinbase.com, Kraken.com, Crypto.com, sensing a theme here, and then check out one of their custodial wallet products. Coinbase has Coinbase Wallet. Crypto.com has the Crypto.com on-chain wallet. It'll play really well. Robinhood has the Robinhood DeFi wallet. And
Kraken
that's important
has
because...
their own wallet.
Do they really?
Yes, it's very nice.
Because you need to learn self-custody. Write that down, get an exchange account, and then come back, ask us your next question. We'll keep going. Will's got the charts up, and here comes my screen sharing shoulder.
That TikTok screen share.
Give me the TikTok
screen
share. Yeah.
Cool. So this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the daily time frame. So a few things I want to point out for us here is, let's first take a look at this high point here, right? This high point here, we had this big wick. This was Trump's inauguration, right? And in comparison to this relative higher wick, it's really not that much higher up, right? It's barely a higher high. When you have barely a higher high, that is a sign of a potential local top. We're not saying it's the top of the bull run. I had some people being like, "Is the bull run over?" Like, is kind of like how's the gaming going? Are you winning, son?
Are you
Like,
winning, son?
I mean, guys, we're still winning, but bull markets have corrections. This is a sign of a potential correction, right? So that's something to see. When you make a high that doesn't have a lot of confidence, and when I mean confidence, I mean like, if we were, higher up, that would be much more confident than, a relative high that's barely a high, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So
Well, and what's
that's a
funny
sign
too,
of potential local
Will,
top.
is how many people were, okay, well, obviously sell the news. Obviously sell the news. Like it's going to crash right after, and then it crashes right after. And they're like, oh my God, it's over forever.
Oh, it's over forever. Oh my God. Like, wait, what? Hey, guys, wait.
Wait, exactly what we said was going to happen?
Guys,
Yeah.
relax. And so here's the thing, right? We've had these 2 red days in a row right now. Meanwhile, as Evan hacks
Evan's
up a lot.
having a red day as well.
I can't hit the mute button when I'm using the screenshot. I'm so sorry.
But we have these red days right now. We're expecting the Bank of Japan to hike interest rates. That's bearish news for the market, but it's expected. It's also not going to be as bad because it's not as big of a surprise as it was last July, which they did. The stock market fell by 10%. Bitcoin fell by 30%. But it's not as big of a shock this time around because the entire market is aware of the amount of pain that it caused last July. A lot of those positions have been unwound. Just understand the problem that hiking of interest rates caused in last summer isn't as big as it is now. Okay. So that means that, Bitcoin's not going to correct 30% like it did last time. And if we look at the chart here, what we have is this green candle that ate up a lot of the wick up on Trump's inauguration day. It's given us enough wiggle room to the point where our correction from this interest rate of Japan being hiked could potentially come down and get caught by this top line of support of this consolidation triangle. So from a TA standpoint, purely speaking, if we came back down and this white line holds its support, we are still in a confirmed bullish breakout of this pattern that would want to send, once it rebounds, Bitcoin up to $116,000. If this white line breaks, us coming down to this magenta line is a pretty much guarantee at $91,000. And that's about as low as I would expect Bitcoin to go, personally. That's what I would see happening here. Maybe we make a little bit of a lower low, maybe a double bottom here. That's always possible. But this magenta line I view as holding. Something else to keep your eyes out for. So I'm calling for red, but I'm calling for this to be a shakeout. It's gonna get weak hands out of the market. And what I'm doing is I have my Morpho position that's still up. I have my Arrow position that's down a good bit right now. And I'm just holding it because this is just a shakeout. This is just par for the course for a bull run. Altcoins will bleed more, but that happens in every single bull market. So it's just par for the course here, guys. If it's your first time, or if it's not your first time, but maybe you've invested more than you really probably should have. It's a very emotional time. I get that, but your emotions lead you to make incorrect decisions in financial markets 9 times out of 10. So just calm yourself and focus on that bull case, which is a strategic reserve for Bitcoin made by the United States is coming. 8 or 12 states have introduced state-level legislation. Other nation states are buying. MicroStrategy is getting over $1 billion raised to buy Bitcoin from their reissuing of stocks. Like, Bitcoin over $200,000 is a very, very likely possibility in my mind at some point in 2025, just based on what MicroStrategy alone plans to do. Things could get really silly. If you focus on that and you look at the market here, you go, oh, my emotions that are telling me to sell right now are unwarranted because this bullish picture here for Bitcoin is really, really high. If money goes into Bitcoin, even, I'm talking about Bitcoin. If you have altcoins, and I'll finish my thoughts here. If money in Bitcoin is going to increase, then liquidity can then flow into the altcoins too. This is how these markets work. So if Bitcoin's going to shoot upwards, your altcoins are going to get some loving. They're going to get some of that love. They're going to get some of that sweet green money to turn their candles green. Just have to be a little bit of patient and have to get past this Bank of Japan shakeout. And it is absolutely a shakeout.
And what time are we expecting that shakeout to go down?
Well, let's see. They're making their decision their Friday, which is our Thursday night, because they're on the other side of the world. So I'm not sure the exact time.
It's like 12-ish hours.
Yeah, 12. So like expected at like midnight or 11.
Wally says, are there any indicators there that would give you an idea of where Bitcoin would go in a bear market? Great question.
Indicators. No, I mean like candle wise, I'm still sharing my screen, right? Yeah. Candle wise, let's just say this is the top. It's not, in my personal opinion. I do not believe this in any way, shape, or form. I want to make that very, very clear. What you want to do is you want to find a chunk of price history. And here is a big old fat chunk of price history that even if we take this and expand this outwards, it includes quite a bit of action of previous highs from the last bull run. This is a very strong bottom area. So if Bitcoin were to go to, let's just say the top is only $125,000 for the whole cycle.
I love that you just said only $125,000 about
only
Bitcoin.
$125,000 for Bitcoin, which is crazy to say. It is. This is what I would be looking at to say this would be the bottom. This general pocket is where I would be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin aggressively. But if Bitcoin goes up to $200,000, $300,000, maybe we're getting crazy here, right? You know, a fall down to these levels, probably unlikely, because the reason why Bitcoin could get to $200,000 or $300,000 is because of the ETFs. It is because banking regulations in the United States have been deregulated for them to be able to do business with crypto. FASB accounting has resulted in companies adding Bitcoin onto their balance sheet, and strategic reserves are being created across the world. This is not an asset that's supported by these things that falls 80% like it did in the past. If you look at gold, which does have access to all four of those things, in its worst bear markets, it falls 40%. That is the type of future that I fully expect for Bitcoin. The volatility of Bitcoin as it gets bigger will become less and less and less and less and less as more and more people build its market cap, but also build conviction in it as a long-term asset, because we're still convincing folks in Wall Street. We're still convincing world leaders. The more and more of them that get convinced, the less and less short-term sellers there are.
And I mean, just a little tidbit of history too. So far, things like this, you know, so far, things like this could change in the future. Thus far, they've held up, but historically, Bitcoin has never fallen back below wherever it was when a new president was elected.
This is true.
Wherever it was in early November, which I believe was in the mid 70s, theoretically, according to history, that's the bottom.
Which was also the top of that range I gave us.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some dolphins in the chat for Will's technical analysis. And I'd also like to tell everyone, if you enjoy Will's technical analysis, I've got 3 different ways for you to learn more from Will. The first and the easiest is obviously jump in the Rise Up Discord server. We have a whole channel there called Technical Analysis, where not just Will, but who have I seen in there? I've seen Sir MGM, Harley, Roby1, a number of other people who are giving great takes on charts to help you learn the fine art of technical analysis. We've also got Will's Top Tools and Indicators Guide. It's a PDF guide that makes it make sense. It's like just a couple of bucks on the riseupmorningshow.com. You can find it there in our digital download section. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to announce that Mr. Will Watson is going to be teaching a class, Technical Analysis 101, get in, get out, figure it out. I don't know what the hell they're going to do there. It's strange to me, but he assures me it's valuable and people seem to be signing up. So you better get over there quick. I'm announcing it today in the Discord for our public sale. The premium members have had, you know, their private access. So be in there when it goes live. There are only 15 slots to the live class because we want to make it manageable so everyone can ask questions. But the recording, it's a free for all. We'll have unlimited copies because they're digital, and we're not going to take them away from you like Disney when you rent a $20 movie. So check that out if you want to learn technical analysis with Will. The class is going to be Thursday next at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be great. Are you excited about it, Will?
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We'll just go over some basics. I still have to fine tune exactly what we're going to go over, but we're going to go over all the basics. We'll educate folks on, hey, here are the indicators that I use Here are the things that I look for. This is how you build your chart. This is how you set up your chart. Once you have the chart set up, this is how I started. This is what you kind of start to pair together. Here are the types of pairings that give you a bearish indication with a lot of confidence, a bullish indication with a lot of confidence, when you should be selling, when you should be buying based on my system. But also, my system's not perfect for everybody. There are so many different ways to skin this cat. There are things that I don't do that you might ask me that I'm just like, I don't have a lot of experience with that. Can't really educate you on that, but hey, we can help to find you some resources that will. But here's my system. But I plan for this course to be a stepping stone in your journey to get better at TAing on charts.
If you want the link for the class, I see 2 or 3 folks asking, when is it? Where is it? When is it? Where is it? The live class is next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central. It's a 2-hour class. You can get the recording once the class is done, but you can buy them as soon as today. As soon as this show is done, I'm going to go to the Discord server, whose link is right here on screen, or right here if you're watching not on TikTok. And I'm going to post an announcement with a link to the class. If you don't like Discord, you can't get in Discord. Evan, where the hell else can I get it? Go to the riseupmorningshow.com. We have a button there. If you scroll down just a little bit, it's got an Eventbrite logo. Eventbrite hosts our classes. It'll be right there, front and center on Eventbrite. And I'll even put a link on the website that says sign up for Will's TA class, get it before it's gone, kind of thing. So it's right there on the front page of the website. That'll be up shortly after the show is done. The riseupmorningshow.com and discord.gg/riseup. You ask us in there and we will definitely point you in the right direction.
Yes. I have a question that came from one of my coaching sessions, actually, where we didn't have enough time to address, and I couldn't find an easy answer to it, which surprised me. In part, it's because for the buying of, it's about how do you buy, where do you find World Liberty Financial to buy? And when you go on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, it's kind of like there are so many fake ones. And also, I couldn't find a really good answer for where the best places are to buy it. So do you guys happen to know where the best place is to buy World Liberty Financial?
And in fact, Alex, can you assist me with a screen share? And I'll try not to rug myself by talking and streaming at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. Hang on just a sec. What I want you to do is go to Twitter first. If you didn't know how to find it, this is how you would find it. You would encounter the source officially. You'd look for an official source of information. And while Alex is pulling up, let me just answer your guys' question real quick and say, if he is not an accredited investor, he can't buy the tokens right now. The tokens are in an extended pre-sale, and they are only offered to people who are accredited investors for legal reasons. So just a moment. Here comes the screen share for everyone on TikTok. So this is the official page of World Liberty Financial. Alex, just really quick, if you didn't know if this is the official page and you were starting at Twitter, how would you verify?
Well, honestly, that's a little bit. You have to do a little bit of poking around, but basically, you'd want to just be doing some link comparison to see, does the thing have a website, official socials listed? You would also be looking at, the affiliated accounts. So if this is like a Trump family thing, is this the account that they are quote tweeting, retweeting, all that good stuff? It's also the one with all the followers. There are gajillions of World Liberty Financial spin-off accounts, really, none of whom have anything to do with anything. I do think it's funny that given proximity to Musk, they didn't splurge.
Splurge for the gold check, yeah.
I think that's funny.
So
this is the one.
And their engagement appears, not just big, but sincere. If you click on those posts, you'll see actual people actually engaging, like he said, who they're following, that kind of thing. Yep. Anyway, in their bio, there's a link for worldlibertyfi.com or worldlibertyfinancial.com. Let's go ahead and click it.
Let's see if it opens for me today. I was trying to look at it yesterday to answer this same question, and it just puts me here and spins.
Yeah, I got stuck there.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Well, when you get to that website, I've been there before. You can close down the screen share. If you are an accredited investor,
my browser just goes like, "Hey, pleb, this isn't for you."
I walked a coaching client through this, and he was an accredited investor, so we actually got it to work. So but you should be able to see this, excuse me, even if you're not. In the top right corner, there is a button that, of course, says get tokens. I think it says get tokens, not buy tokens. And they have a full terms and conditions sheet that you can read and some stuff to scroll through, a form to fill out. they request a lot of information. My client, who is an accredited investor and has done this before, said, yeah, they wanted a lot more information than some of the other things I've purchased. But it's like a KYC. They want to know that you're good for it, basically. And then you can buy, because of this particular pre-sale, in small amounts. It was before, starting in October, the initial pre-sale, it was like you had to buy at least $100,000 or something like that. And I think he bought $3,000 of the tokens the other day. But even though the contract says they're not for sale, they won't be saleable, what is most likely to happen is that eventually they will become saleable to the public through a liquidity pool or something like that. You'll be able to trade for them. But, excuse me, at that time, the people who bought in early and the team who gets their free tokens unlocked will be looking to sell them. That'll be the only way you can get them. So, damn it. Somebody help me.
Brother.
You know where I'm going with this, though, right?
Get the demons out of you.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. I got that pneumonia, baby.
Yeah, so it's true that they are sharing what they're buying, but also it's impossible not to, because the blockchain is open source and anybody can go look at it. So just save us all the time and post it. Yeah, but no, it's one of those things, you know. I don't know. This type of thing doesn't really interest me that much. I had the proximity that it has to whatever they're interested in is the part that I'm more watching.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, I'm not interested in the coin itself. I just want to see what they're buying.
Yeah, because I mean they're buying that for a reason. They have a goal. They have a specific goal, which is to accumulate wealth.
If I had a big enough portfolio to spread around, you know, money on a position willy-nilly, it'd be the kind of thing that I'd put a couple bucks into. You know what I mean? Like I would feel silly not doing it. I don't feel silly not participating now. It doesn't make sense for me now. But
yep.
I mean, I would speculate.
I saw a question come up that said, how the heck do you find the token address?
Also a great question. It is on their website. It's on their documentation for World Liberty 5, but sorry, I rugged you for something else. I apologize.
Yeah, but in general, the question was, how do you? If you could go to their official website, oftentimes they'll have their token address there. But if not, what you can do is you can come onto something like a coin market cap. You know, I'm just going to pick a random coin. Huh. Oh, we picked the graph at random.
Okay, great. Hold tight. This is like the worst day to be.
I don't know. I just read a comment out of context that said "white people lol," and that just made me laugh.
Honestly,
like
though, you're
right. Still funny.
Yikes.
So here we are. This is CoinMarketCap for the graph. You can come down here to contracts, and this is their contract. And they might have contracts on other chains too. You can find all that, copy, paste, and bada boom, bada bing. You found the coin without it being a scam of Fugazi.
CoinGecko has a similar feature. The tab you're looking for is called exchanges after you search for the token page. Good question. Really good question. And did you know with that contract address, you can look up all kinds of information. You can go to a blockchain explorer, get all the code for the contract itself, paste it into GPT. You can take it to Token Sniffer, a great website that should be in your tool account to see if the token you're about to buy is saleable and scammy or anything like that. You said there's another.
And that
great
site
question.
was called CoinMarketCap. You can also use CoinGecko. Those are the sites. There's another great question. It came in that says, "What is wrapped Bitcoin?" Just wrote that question I've had on 2 of my coaching sessions now.
Great questions.
Wrapped Bitcoin. So you have your Bitcoin, right, that sits on the blockchain exchange. Wrapped Bitcoin is essentially taking that Bitcoin, wrapping it up in some Ethereum packaging that makes it safe to be able to be transported across the Ethereum blockchain network and to be introduced to DeFi protocols to earn interest on and do interesting things with it. That is what wrapped Bitcoin is. Is wrapped Bitcoin technically Bitcoin? No, but it is your collateral, if you will, that you use to then exchange to reclaim your Bitcoin and get access to that. So it's just a way of taking the money that you have in Bitcoin and being able to use that within the Ethereum ecosystem. And you have wrapped Bitcoin, which is W, and then the ticker for Bitcoin, BTC. You have Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, which is CB, BTC. You have a number of different types of wrappings for Bitcoin, but that is it. It is taking your Bitcoin, putting it to work by being able to package your Bitcoin in an Ethereum safe package for delivery and usage.
Atlantis Morissette says, not to be confused with hip hop Bitcoin. Yeah. Good one. Have you guys seen Lombard BTC, LBTC? It's a new wrapped Bitcoin asset.
I don't think so. No.
So this is just an interesting quick tidbit is that for a long time, WBTC was like if you wanted to wrap Bitcoin, it was the golden standard. It was the one. There was a lot of liquidity for it. It was backed well. And then Justin Sun, dubious figure, founder of Tron, bought a huge stake of it last year. And the DeFi community led by Aave was like, yo, dog, we don't like this. And they're like, we need some alternatives. So pretty immediately after that, Coinbase comes in and they're like, man, the timing of this is just so perfect. Here's Coinbase Bitcoin, CBBTC. It was a killer product.
CBBTC, baby.
They promised in their terms and conditions it'd be backed 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. And they promised the way the folks offering WBTC were able to offer it is because they would take your Bitcoin, some of it, and they'd do DeFi stuff with it. And that would like cover their expenses. But it was concerning for a lot of investors. And that's why people didn't like that Justin Sun was coming in because they're like, what's Justin Sun going to do with my Bitcoin? And now here's Coinbase like, we're not going to do anything with your Bitcoin. We know it costs us money. We'll take the loss because we want you to trust us. But people are still like, Coinbase, can I trust you? And so
and lately they are
yeah, exactly. In a bit of despair. So now there's this kind of emerging market. It's been a narrative for a while. I think it will continue to be relevant is other people doing Bitcoin DeFi things. This product Lombard BTC, I found out about it on Morpho because it's the collateral or the asset you can loan in some pools. And it's basically like the decentralized version of synthetic Bitcoin. Coinbase is the custody of CBBTC. WBTC is dubious. And so they were like, you know what? Let's do some real DeFi. And that's their DeFi. So I am expecting to see big things out of that from people who want a more decentralized solution to do DeFi with Bitcoin stuff. I don't know that the liquidity is big. I haven't done the big deep dive into it, but I expect to see a lot more from that product, LBTC, and enthusiastic DeFi people creating opportunities to loan your Bitcoin through Lombard Bitcoin.
Well, appreciate you putting it on my radar screen.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So there's a couple. Aave has a couple things that you can do with some variously packaged Bitcoin offerings, and then like Will said, really you strip it all down to the bare essentials, the bare necessities. The whole point of it is to be able to do things in crypto land with Bitcoin where Bitcoin is normally not allowed to go. And so you have to dress it up in a costume so it doesn't get tossed out.
Beautifully simple way to say it.
And I do love a costume.
You know that's true.
Hey, so Bobby. So go ahead. You had a comment. I was going to... Which one do you say?
Someone had asked earlier just about Caspa, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about things that generally don't excite me.
Tell me why.
You walked them right off a cliff right there. They thought they trusted you to take them to say real positive things about Caspa, and then led them up and then just push.
No, they asked. I said it doesn't excite me. They said why not? So
okay, all right.
It just in general, you can take this and apply it to pretty much everything that's not really doing a whole lot right now. There's a lot of big, like kind of dinosaur cryptocurrencies, like the geriatric ones that are just like kind of sleeping on this bull run. They're sort of not participating. It's okay. Time travel back to last bull run. Cardano was everywhere.
Wait.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, proceed.
That's a new one.
Good.
Soundboard going crazy this morning.
Go back to last bull run. Cardano was everywhere, right? They were doing all sorts of stuff. They were at all the big conferences. Charles Hoskinson was live streaming every single day, talking shit on Twitter all the time. He was doing literally multiple hour live streams every day, just in his chateau office with his stuffed lobster on his computer tower in the background, just yelling at people. And and you know, and it showed. They set a new all-time high. They were the talk of the town. Everyone was all over it. And now this year, what does the conversation about Cardano look like? It looks like it's like poking the thing with the stick, you know, like, come on,
Do something.
And it's not to say that they are like suddenly a bad network, or suddenly things are broken, or like suddenly you know, it's just not working anymore. They just aren't participating. And for me, Caspa is one of those where, like, the only time, with no exceptions, the only time I ever hear anything of it is when someone in the comment section asks me, what do you think about Caspa? And I'm like, well, considering that the only people on earth interested in it are probably bag holders, I'm so not interested in what they're doing. I don't see a single piece of messaging. I don't know anything about their story. I haven't seen any marketing attempts. I haven't seen any presence of them at any conferences. I haven't seen any presence on social media. I never see anybody talking about them unless they're wondering about the sanctity of their bags.
It's just a coin that did well at the beginning of this bull run, and as such has been able to continue to keep momentum because people look at the chart and go, it'll go back up. And it's just that it happened to go up at a good time, and that's the reason why it's here. It has a lot of people mining it. You know, I mean, if you want to buy it because it's starting to become a fairly secure proof of work blockchain, that's about it.
It's a DAG, by the way.
Oh, it's a DAG. Okay.
Which is about its only real potential for like a saving grace, in my opinion, unless they do some sort of huge cultural 180 and really define themselves. If for some reason like DAGs get sexy again and people start getting curious about those, it might make sense that money would go into things in that narrative or that niche just out of pure speculation, and that would be about the only opportunity I see for Caspa.
Okay, you nerds.
I think hang on to unnerd it for a second. I think the most important thing that Alex said, though, as a critique of Caspa is, what is their story? Because no one knows. People just know, like, it's a coin that's done hot, but, like, what's the story here? Like, oh, you can, like, mine it. That's it. You can mine it.
I was like, and
yep. The story, and it's like, that's just not a very good story. There's no story there. It's because
that's the Cardano story too. What do? Stake it?
That's what you do.
That's it. That's all you do.
For the people in the audience wondering what a DAG is, it is a directed acrylic graph. It's another type of data storage structure.
I love that you called it an acrylic graph.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, acyclic.
Acyclic.
I swear to God, I have thought that this whole time. Every time I hear DAG, I have to look it up again, and I have read acyclic as acrylic. I swear to God. Acyclic.
Such a wiener.
So you just let that go to show you that even somebody in the space who's been here a long time gets it wrong sometimes. So buzzer for me. The difference between a DAG and a blockchain is linear. Everything that happens, every new piece of data is linked to the one that came before it. DAGs are non-linear. They're based on like a graph. Transactions are like little nodes in this graph, and they confirm previous ones by connecting to them, just like a blockchain, but different sorts of way. They don't use blocks. They don't use miners. You get them through, I don't know. It is mining, but it's not the same kind of, I don't know. You know who talks about it is Nick Junas. He is somebody I respect and would listen to talk about it as far as like, why does he accumulate it? And I feel like he had a valid technical reason, but I also remember him saying something like the narrative of it. People were talking about it as like the new Bitcoin. So, you know, all those tokens, you know,
that's
they got a little,
I always hear it. Yeah.
I'm
bump. Immediately bearish. If the way that you try to sell me on your thing is by telling me you're a better version of the better thing, dude, come up with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's a tale as old as time in crypto.
I know. Don't come for me. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
This is true.
Yeah.
So but it can work to make the price go up.
It can, and it does.
Yeah, it
ideal.
Does. We're the better thing. Oh, and then a couple people go up and go, they have great technology. Why is it great? It's great.
It's great because it's better than yours.
Because it's better.
Okay.
Pump it.
Got it.
Got to pump it up. Hey. Have you seen Aerodrome's revenue this week? Looks very strong.
Yeah, it is super strong.
The revenue across base DeFi is looking solid. I saw a comparison. It seems like every time you compare, I did this for a video, Uniswap to anything else in Base, Uniswap is just eating their own lunch in terms of taking a loss on Base Network to get a slice of the pie. I think all they haven't converted $1 of fees to revenue anytime I've looked at DeFi Llama, and I've been wondering if the API is broken, because I just can't believe that they're letting millions of dollars. I mean, they're a huge business, so maybe they can afford it, but seems like a tough loss leader.
How so the revenue is looking good? How can you tell what the revenue is, Alex? That's a great question, Alex. Let's take a look.
And that's just bullshit.
Are you going to do a screen share again?
Oh yeah, of course he's doing
Evan,
a screen share.
you already know what
It's
it is.
just
You
stupid.
felt it.
Get that.
Now here's
get
our
that phone
favorite
up there.
tool, DeFi Llamas. We
The
should be
best.
Hang on.
sponsored by them. I don't know if they give sponsorship money, but anyway, regardless.
They should, because
If they don't give sponsorship money, we should work with them to talk about their product in a more official capacity to make them the money to sponsor us.
for real.
That's the
one
play.
of course, one of the biggest strengths of DeFi Llama is that they don't pay gate anything. It's all free and open. So, the claim. Let's this is one of those things we would really like to check on more stuff. So I have a project that I'm interested in seeing the revenue for. Okay, we're looking for Aerodrome. We know that it's on Base. Let's pop over here. Let's scroll down and look at that. It's still number one by TVL, which is total value locked, which is the measure of exactly how much money is on the ecosystem in various forms, whether that's some stable coins, whether that's currency held on their exchange or whatever.
Wow, but Alex, I have to rug you to say, do you see who's number 2? And that was not that way yesterday
No,
when I
that's
looked.
the first time I've looked at this again,
Yes.
and Morpho Blue's number 2 right now.
And look at that. It's a 20% increase this week, 72% increase in
Go my
TVL.
biggest bag. Go
This-
my biggest bag. Go my
this
pretty.
week's-
Killer.
That's a lot.
Uniswap was previously number 2. It used to be Aero, Uniswap,
Uniswap.
Aave Morpho, or then it was Morpho Aave, and now it's
I mean,
Uniswap
before that, I
is-
mean, when we first found Morpho was way down this.
way
list.
down.
Well, and you can
Damn.
tell too. You can kind of look at, track these numbers and see like who's losing to who and who's, where's the money coming out of and where is it going into. And that's kind of the beauty of a tool like this. But if you were looking for fees and revenue specifically, right over here, you'd be able to see that Aerodrome has is currently sitting about $300,000 a day. And if you wanted to, I think
Wouldn't
there's
that be nice?
actually there's a full chart here for if you
And
wanted to
that
go
zero,
to revenue.
you'll notice. Oh well, Alex rugged me.
They have a page just for fees and revenue, so you can come over here and look at Aerodrome, and they have it divided up. So here we just look at main Aerodrome, and yeah, as you can see, right, revenue is
Up and to
climbing.
the right.
It has been since September, which is about where it looks to have kind of been hovering for a while. So I know you can't see the numbers over there on TikTok, but
You can see the chart. It's up.
Yeah. Up and to the
chart's
right,
up.
looking good. And the difference is for Uniswap, the fees they were generating did not convert to revenue. They might have got, I think it was like $1.something million in fees on Base, and it was a big fat zero for revenue. Whereas for Aero, that 300,000 number that Alex showed us of revenue is a 1-to-1 comparison. Every dollar in fees they generate converts to revenue. So comparatively, they are making money at a much better percentage. 100 is the best percentage for revenue to profit, and 0 is the worst. And that's where Aero and Uniswap are on Base Network. That's right. Damn it.
Aha.
Now we just need them to take that revenue and then buy Aerodrome supply, which they've done before, but they need to do more of that.
Don't forget that Binance posted that cryptic tweet before Christmas that wasn't quite so cryptic, that said, let's touch base over the weekend. And then, of course, Aerodrome made googly eyes at them.
Yeah, so Binance is coming for Base. When? Some point this year.
And it's honestly weird that they haven't, because obviously as an exchange, what you want to do is make money, and there is heavy trading volume over there. And every day that you aren't listing it, you're just losing revenue.
True, but timing is also very important.
I agree.
And if you can time it at a more fever pitch time with more new people coming on, bringing way too much money into the market at a bad time,
Making
with
irresponsible
way
decisions.
too much leverage, you
Yeah.
stand to make quite a bit of money. So the market will start to heat up a little bit, and then keep your eyes open for new listings.
A couple of quick questions.
Yes.
The first one I want to touch is what's the difference between fees and revenue, and why did Morpho have no revenue? I think that might have been my screen share. This is a question from TikTok. Sorry, it's shaky. Morpho has plenty of revenue. Uniswap had no revenue, and that's because they're presumably taking a loss. They're probably offering cheaper fees or fees that they can't make money on in order to remain competitive with
Yes.
Aerodrome is their bigger competitor.
Or the API is broken on the site.
Well,
Or the
and,
API
yeah,
is broken on the
just-
site. That's also possible.
Yeah, there's a couple instances where if you look on DeFi Llama, they are pulling data from so many different places. It doesn't always come through properly, and they don't have permission to grab everything that they would like to show. So, for example, if you were to look at the TVL of Stellar or the XRP ledger, it's not recorded properly because they're not able to fetch the same way that they fetch from everywhere else.
We could confirm that for you in the Discord.
Yeah.
If we wanted to. I see your is the base question. I'd like to do that, but first on the way there, can we also address is Morpho or Arrow better? And the answer is it
They
depends
are
on.
completely different businesses.
That's exactly
One is
right.
a
I
lending
suspect,
protocol, and
Totally
the other is an
different.
exchange. Yeah.
If you're
I
talking
suspect
about
they're
as
asking
an
as
investment,
Yeah.
I made Morpho far larger than my Aerodrome position. Take that however you will.
Well, I would say if
Probably.
you're looking at the market right now in terms of like which one stands to grow more, you made the
Like,
point
market
yesterday,
cap's
Will,
way
that Arrow
smaller.
is a heavier token. The market cap is larger than Morpho's, and
Yeah,
Morpho
and
is
what I
growing
mean-
faster right now.
What I meant by heavier is that there's a bigger inflation of its supply, so the token is heavier. By that, I mean it takes more to get the token to go up, and it takes less to make the token fall down hard as compared to other altcoins, right? So that's what I mean by heavier. And then Morpho is a smaller market cap, so less money needs to go in it to make it pump up. It's not really inflationary much at all. It starts to become a little bit inflationary in April, just FYI. And it's not listed on Coinbase, nor is it listed on Binance. And Aerodrome is listed on Coinbase, but not Binance. So just looking at those reasons, and we see the TVL growth on Morpho is really something fantastic. I'm more bullish on Morpho than Aerodrome as an investment. But as a comparison of products, there's zero comparison. Well, not necessarily zero, but very little.
Alex, what
All
was
right.
the base question? I missed it.
So there was a quick question, which is just what is Base? And Base is a technical definition, layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum blockchain built by Coinbase, the company, which just means that Ethereum is a network where people can go and build applications and businesses and products and services, but it is a little bit slower and a little bit more expensive than many people would like to for smaller, retail movements and payments and stuff. So there are these things called layer 2s, which are basically just things people build on the first thing to make it harder, better, faster, stronger. And Base is Coinbase's version of a network that makes Ethereum faster and cheaper.
Very well said.
And that's it. It make Ethereum fast and
And
cheap.
And cheap. So there was a question that was kind of a multiple parts. So I think just to lightly touch on a couple things as we've been throwing a lot of terms around. What is DeFi? DeFi is one of the industries built on this whole crypto space. So the broader industry is crypto and blockchain in general, given the marketing term Web3 is how people usually colloquially refer to the entire thing. DeFi is one of those pieces of that bigger puzzle. It is short for decentralized finance, and it's basically just a bunch of different products and services and tools that you can use to maintain better control of your money and do the things with your money that banks are doing with your money in the centralized and traditional financial world. So, for example, if you put your money in a bank account, what you're doing is allowing them to fractionalize your money and lend it out to a whole bunch of different people all at the same time and make $1 bajillion off of it. And that's how banks make money. And if you would like to participate in that same idea, you could go to a protocol like Morpho or like Aave or like Uniswap or like Aerodrome. These are all different versions of decentralized finance companies and projects, and you could lend your own money out to someone else. Inevitably, the next question that I always get is just about that lending thing. So I'll hit on that in just a second. But that's kind of DeFi in a nutshell. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. You don't just have to lend your money to people. You can put it into a pool that gets used by another company as collateral, and you can earn a return for that. You can, bet on, or you can take out your own loans into different things. So, for example, something that people might do to leverage money more effectively would be to, supply something on Aave, for example, take out a loan against it, do something else with that money, and then hopefully make more than you're paying in interest for the loan. And it's a very deep rabbit hole to fall in. There's tons and tons of different options.
Alex, what do you think about this? True DeFi is PulseChain. It's being gatekept and suppressed. It's a fork of Ethereum.
Yikes.
Why yikes? Because I don't disagree with you. I was inclined to say myself, but I would like to hear why. And by that, I mean,
Tell me why.
You're not necessarily wrong, although it's not being gatekept or suppressed. It's being shilled like crazy by people who are fans of it. You're not necessarily wrong with it being a fork of Ethereum, but it also doesn't take anything to copy paste an open source protocol, which has happened many, many times.
Yeah, that's like saying, have you heard my new rap song? I sampled Snoop Dogg's beat.
Yeah, exactly. So you're correct, though, that it is worse Ethereum, but the way that it started is the most sketchy money grab I've ever seen in crypto, which is really saying something. I want the full weight of that statement to really land.
Yeah.
That of all the sketchy money grabs,
like an Acme anvil dropped by Tom.
Yeah, from the top of a skyscraper. So the way that it started was basically this guy, Richard Hart, who is currently wanted in lots of different countries for a myriad of different
I think he got picked up by Interpol.
Brilliant.
I love that.
Fuck that guy. He's a known grifter, scammer, and fraudster who basically decided one day that he was going to build this new blockchain. And the way he was going to fund it was to solicit people to send all of their ERC20 tokens to his personal wallet. And then he was going to basically print screen, copy paste them onto his blockchain and send you the new shitty version that he just made. So he literally collected the one he wanted, the ERC20 tokens, ETH, or anything else. And then he sent you a worse version. It's literally like, hey, okay, PulseChain is the blockchain and Web3 equivalent of Shroot Bucks. All right. You all went up to Dwight and handed him cash, and he gave you monopoly money in return. And then he got arrested.
I will absolutely die on this hill.
But in between, he made billions of dollars and just flaunted his wealth by buying luxury cars and watches
and bad
all sorts
clothing
of stuff and bad clothing and fighting with people smarter than him on the internet and posting really cringy pictures. So,
oh, dude, these pictures are so good. They're so good. Just him decked out in Louis Vuitton onesies with just getting into a Lambo, and it's just all of the money that you guys sent him, your own money, and he's like, don't worry guys, PulseChain's gonna do things anyway. Watch this video of me walking into the store buying $50,000 worth of clothing and accessories.
Somebody said I was watching Wendio and she was in favor of it, just wondering if other folks were. And I do recall that Wendio at one time interviewed Richard Hart on her show.
Yeah, but they were arguing.
They were arguing, and I also feel like in the end, to be frank, I think she allowed him to kind of bully her into politeness and friendliness. And I think I don't know how to say this without sounding, Wendy is not who I would send to the blockchain off. And I think somebody like Richard Hart relies on you not to know much about blockchain and makes himself sound more self-important and technical and uses that to kind of bully people into submission.
I mean,
is effective at it.
Richard Hart is an effective manipulator because
Yeah.
he knows just enough terms to intimidate anyone into questioning whether or not they're correct about something. And that's all he needs to grift effectively. Like it would not be that difficult to look up a bunch of technical jargon and say enough things, and you can point out enough very specific pieces. It's the nature of how's a conspiracy theory built, right? You take enough pieces of objective reality and feed them to somebody in an order that will manipulate a particular conclusion on behalf of that person who wants to believe that something nefarious is going on. When at the end of the day, all Richard Hart ever did, and this is all on chain forever, anybody can fact check me, was open a non-governed wallet in his own personal name and just collect everyone's money and then
Fact check
fuck
yourself,
off and
brother.
buy a bunch of luxury goods and then get arrested. That's what he did. And in the meantime, he did give you a bullshit blockchain that you can mess around on and lose more money on. So I guess,
Also-
he technically delivered.
Also, I'm so sorry. I do have a good fact check here for me. Fact check yourself, brother. That he has not been arrested. Thank you for the correction. He is simply being sought by Interpol and is on Europe's most wanted fugitives list.
There you go.
So thank you for that. And Solom says, shout out for this. What we should do for the Rise Up Morning Show is we should get him on the show, let Alex lead the interview, and make it a pay-per-view. Will, you and I can sit in the booth like Joe Rogan and the other guy and just react to the
Jamie.
fight. Yeah. Just, and,
No, what it'll
that'll
be is
it.
they'll be like, no, don't worry. Just meet us at this location. He walks in, and then all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, why did you guys ask me to wear like basketball shorts for this? A giant spotlight opens up, and it's just Alex in the corner of a boxing ring that somehow he's been led into. Now it's just about to just like, come on up.
Exactly.
Are you ready to rumble?
So that's the move.
Yep. And then Evan and I have to fight for who's going to be the card girl, for the
Oh no,
round.
man, that's you. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling a little sick. That's you. I will be imitating Michael Buffer, and then we will commentate on the fight together, and it'll be glorious.
It would be short because like I said, that's the nature of his grift, is that technically what he did and said is true. Technically, he did collect down payments from people and then return them Pulse versions of the better thing they sent him.
And that does create a market cap. You're trading for tokens, setting a
And
price.
Technically, the PulseChain became a thing, and there's people building stuff over there, probably out of desperation because they sent way too much money to the sacrifice wallet. The fact that it was called a sacrifice wallet should have been the first red flag to everybody.
Yes.
Sacrifice your money in the name of me, Richard Hart, King Grift shit, and I will give you bullshit in return. And we can move on.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
I will say, someone asked a question just about SWI, whether it's the next Solana, because Raoul Paul
Maybe
swears on it.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I have heard him talk about it. He's getting close to like shill territory the way he talks about it.
So this is another good opportunity. Evan, you don't have to do it, but the exact same way that we just pulled up, DeFi Llama to look at base and look specifically at Aerodrome and their revenue, you can look up SWI and where money is, where it's going, where it's been, where it's leaving, how much is there, all that sort of stuff. And that's really what I would be keeping an eye on. Whenever anyone asks me about SWI, I always say it's an ambitious plan because it's a general purpose layer one. That's a pretty densely populated and very competitive space. You're entering at a time when Solana is at its absolute peak. Culture, attention, mindshare, volume, transactions, people, projects launching, revenue, market cap, all-time high price, all these things. And you're coming in and basically just saying we're a better version, but I have yet to see, this is not to denigrate them in any way, I've yet to see a single real reason that they are that's compelling at all. So I always say new kid on the block, a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff to prove, seem to be off to a promising start, that they will at least be an ecosystem that gets people, but they really need to work on attracting people. And right now, speaking from the experience of knowing many developers building things on Solana or other ecosystems, I have not heard a compelling reason from any of them to consider migrating their projects to Sui. I actually don't know of a single developer interested in migrating to Sui right now. So that's one of the things you really got to do. There's a ton of projects migrating to Base, migrating to Solana. Not a lot going anywhere else.
Yeah, and that goes for just about any. Somebody said, what about Say? If it's Aptos, honestly, I would say this for Near, even though they've been around a little bit longer. The name of the game is really like, are you going to survive what happens after we hit a top and come crashing down, or, you know, in the bear market when everything is less active and less exciting and everyone's got less money? That is when I'm going to be looking at, just like Alex said, projects like Sui. You got me saying it like a pretentious Sui, you know.
That's how you say it.
I know it's how you say
I like
it.
Sui.
You know, come on. Sui, yeah, that's right. Me and Will are over here.
Sui's
Like,
better.
like
Sui's
Americans.
just better instead of Sui.
Okay, well, I could like calling you Wall instead of Will. That doesn't mean that that's your name.
Yeah, but you can call me whatever you want. That's
What if
your
Will's
choice
nickname
as a
was
person.
Wall?
It'll just affect our relationship. I don't
Wall.
care about my relationship with that.
All right.
It's Sui. It's better.
From now on, you are
I
Wall.
didn't have a choice in my name. They had a choice in their company's name, and they chose dumb.
I have a really good question here, which is a question about, like, if we're new, what coin should we invest in? This is such a good question. We like to answer it every chance we get it. I think it's probably not a helpful question to ask, what coin should I invest in? If you don't already know how to buy crypto, how to send and receive crypto, how to swap crypto for other crypto tokens, how to self-custody your crypto securely, and how to turn that crypto back into cash. And if you don't know those things yet, don't fret, don't sweat. You can learn them, and you can learn them all with crypto tokens that aren't volatile. There are tokens called stable coins. This should be your first stop on the blockchain. You can get them for exactly what you'd pay in dollars. Like $1 is equal to 1 USDC or USDT. That's a great place to start. You can do everything with stable coins. You can do with regular. I say regular. Stable coins are regular with other cryptocurrencies that are volatile, and you don't need any money. You know, just like $2, $3, $5. To start learning how to do it, you might start at a place like Coinbase.com and get their Coinbase wallet so you can practice sending from the exchange to the wallet, buying, selling, doing all those things. And then my next recommendation for you would be to buy Bitcoin, just so you can experience what it's like to have the world's most valuable asset and see its price go up 10% and down percent one day later. From there, after you've learned to do those things and been watching the crypto charts, almost anything you would decide to buy next would be a better choice than anything anybody could tell you now, because you'll have learned a lot more. So join the Rise Up Discord server. Come ask us questions, but those are your homework assignments. Get an exchange account, totally free. Buy $5-10 worth of stable coins, whatever's an insignificant amount to you, and learn to buy, send, swap, store your crypto securely. Will, what were you chuckling at?
What was I chuckling at? I don't know. It's past now.
Solom is getting my points today. Our friend Solom, for going wild with the comedy in the comments. He was saying during the pay-per-view, Will in the Kraken costume as the ring girl, and I was like,
hell
yes.
Yeah, that would be perfect. But no, it was a comment from Tech CEO, which is, don't follow your dreams, follow the morning show.
Don't follow your dreams, follow the morning
follow your
show,
dreams.
but also follow Tech CEO, bringing game shows to TikTok and making chat a little bit wealthier than when they started. So shout out to him for being such a joy and the best salesman of the Rise Up Morning Show mug.
He is our best salesman.
So if you guys have asked questions, I am currently trying to like mass rapid fire short questions in the chat down here. So if I don't say it out loud, I'm tagging you all in comments. Just
also, yeah, as a note of housekeeping, Alex does that. I do that. Will does that. If you are one of those people who is saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And we respond to you with what we think about it, and then you keep spamming it, you're on my bad list. No.
Naughty boy.
And if you've got a question, this is the place for it. So if we missed it, don't hesitate to repeat it. We're not ignoring you. If we miss it the rest of the show, the Discord is a good place for it. It's where the show lives 24/7. Thoughts on DPIN, or maybe some other narratives. What's going to be hot the rest of this run, and what's got substance versus what's...
Well, all the things that have been hot will continue to be hot. You got your AI plays. So your AI agents are going to be hotter than DPIN, but DPIN's started off hot, it'll remain hot in terms of like your renders and the leaders in the space. But AI agents are the AI play. DePIN is a play in AI because it's trying to satisfy a need for AI, which is the providing of computational power in a more accessible way that is cheaper to people, and people need computational power for AI. So that's why DePIN is underneath the AI umbrella. But AI agents are by far and away the hottest trend in the AI space. Meme coins will be hot. Your layer ones, specifically meme coins in Solana and Base, will be the hottest because those are the two hottest, fastest growing ecosystems right now. And layer ones will remain hot. Your Ethereum, your Solana, your Sui, your Say will still probably be popular. Aptos will probably still be popular. You'll have some dinosaur coins that have gained momentum too. Your XRP is probably still going to do well. And your Algorand is probably still going to have its pops here and there and things like that. But and then DeFi on top has also been hot. Other than that, gaming's taken a real chill pill over the past like 6 months or so, I would say, from like a hot trending category. But that could change this year because there are a lot of games set for release this year. A lot of Web3 games set for release across Immutable X, Beam, a whole host of others. So we'll see if that gets hotter. But those are the hottest trends right now, unless I
feel like gaming is kind of cooled off. I really feel like,
it really
especially after AI agents came out, like I just haven't seen since since Off the Grid. I feel like I haven't seen a real splash maker of a product, of a chain. And everybody's just talking about Shatterline. That's the name of the game.
Is that out or is it coming out?
It's out.
Well, I haven't heard anything about it. So
how many players? What have you been doing, man? You're the gaming guy.
I have talked about it multiple times.
When?
I don't listen to you.
On this show with both of you idiots.
I don't listen to you.
Man, I'm so sorry, Alex. Huh.
Well, other than you, I have heard nothing about it, so it hasn't made a splash.
Here's the thing. Again, they launched the way that a game launches. They did not launch the way that Off the Grid launched. And Off the Grid launched with Ninja and Tim the Tapman and some huge streamers that put a tremendous amount of attention and volume on it very quickly. And then the marketing contract with those streamers ended and most players left. It launched a little bit early, but there's a mad dash to try to get big stuff out. Games take a very long time to build and they cost a tremendous amount of money to build, and nothing says that they're going to be successful when you're done. And you're really just like hoping for that shot in the dark that becomes Call of Duty. 25,000 games launched on Steam every year. 1% of them turn a
profit. Or even
profit.
just Pal World.
Yeah. Or even that. The overwhelming overwhelming majority of games never go anywhere. They never turn a profit. They never become sustainable.
Kind of like metaverse projects. It's like if you don't have users and actual adoption and you got a token, then people are just going to get that token, sell it, see you later, bye.
Yeah, which is exactly why it is like the conservative way to do it is to look at the ecosystems that are launching all of these things like Avalanche, Ronin, Immutable X. Those are the big three.
The big three.
Big three.
Somebody also asked about DeFi as a trend or like DeFi related projects, and I'd kind of lump it in there with DeFi. We've talked about this on the show before. Decentralizing anything is a great ambition for people in crypto, but my take is just slapping a crypto token on it as like the way to raise money for it, especially when decentralizing something like the pharmaceutical trial process. I don't think it's going to be meaningful. A meme coin's going to raise you what? $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion. Like that's really cute. But meanwhile, Pfizer is like, we will spend billions of dollars right now, no questions asked, to push this drug through. If your meme coin can raise that kind of money, first of all, that's amazing. But second of all, like, what are you going to do? There's your treasury. It's gone. You can't go toe to toe with them by trying to sell bros a meme coin and telling them you're not going to see any profits from this because we have to spend the whole thing on the first phase of the clinical trial. And if that goes well, give us 7 years, and when the drug is on the market, you might see a return. You know what I mean? First of all, that's a security. Second of all, like, good luck. I think it's ambitious and cool, and blockchain will help us, but all these projects right now, not going to make it. The incentives are not aligned in that direction. That's my take.
So, guys, I need to start heading off. I have a call at 9:30. I have to do a little bit of prep for.
Okay. Then can you very quickly just give us the market update that you gave us at the top, the macro picture, the updates we should be looking for, and final thought for the weekend?
Yes, and I'll share my screen really quickly so you can't stop me.
No!
Haha! Look at all the doubles.
Okay, here it comes. Is that Gyarados in the background, bro?
Yeah, dude, it's Gyarados in the background, man. This is my computer desktop. I am exactly who I say I am.
Yeah, you really are.
Yep, you really are. That sounded insulting. Anyway,
I meant it with so much love.
That's good. I didn't sound convincing. So with Bitcoin, we have some bearish things, some bullish things on the chart, and then we'll do a quick little macro update. So from a TA standpoint, you can see that this long wick here from the inauguration, right? This is our high, our new all-time high. When you compare it with the last high that we have, you can see that it's barely a high, right? When you barely make a high and you have a long wick like that, it is a potential sign that this is a relative top. That bullish momentum is weakening to the point where there's not enough bullish momentum to make a high with confidence, where there's a large difference between those relative highs. So that is a sign to us that this is a potential local top, right? So keep that in mind. Now, what could, from a macro standpoint, be causing us to sell off has to do with the Bank of Japan's interest rates. All you need to know is the last time they hiked rates, which was last July, Bitcoin fell by 30%. The stock market fell by 10%. If you want to look all the details on that, I made a video on it about 2 or 3 days ago. Go back on my profile. You can find it. You'll see it. It has more views than most. It has something like 70,000 views or something like that right now, 60,000. And anyway, go and get all the details there. Just know that it could cause some volatility in the market, but it's not nearly as big of a problem this time as it was last year. So that should be a reason that should spill some selling into markets across the board. Now, something we didn't highlight in the update this morning is the stock market, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has a crazy amount of gaps on the daily chart right here that absolutely unequivocally want to be filled, because that's just how gaps work. 98% of the time they get filled on the stock market's chart. Also, we're at a time where the daily stochastic RSI says, hey, we're very overbought right now. We're in this overbought territory. We should see some selling. So we should, just from a TA standpoint, not even accounting for the Bank of Japan, expect to see these gaps get filled before we start to see a recovery like that.
Hang on. Don't go away from it because I missed it.
Oh, God.
Gaps getting filled.
Gaps getting filled, right? So if the stock market is in a position where it looks very likely to sell on this news of the Bank of Japan interest rates being hiked, we should see that bleed off into Bitcoin. Now, from a TA standpoint, here's a bullish thing. This top white line of resistance right here, if that line holds, we still have a bullish breakout confirmed on this chart that would want to send Bitcoin still to over $116,000, or roughly right there, right? But if it breaks, we could see Bitcoin fall to about $92,000, $91,000, this magenta line. So that's what to keep your eyes on. And this white line, if it were to fall like a rock today, is at $98,787. So keep your eye on that $98,000 mark for the most part, 98.5.
Thank you.
If that holds, we still have a bullish breakout. Things are still looking good. And there's a chance it could hold. Maybe we do even better than the stock market, as there's a volatility from the Bank of Japan interest rate hikes being taken, because A, it's not nearly as big of a problem as it is today, and B, we're still waiting for that strategic reserve from Donald Trump to be created. And if that news comes out around the same time or just after the Bank of Japan interest rates being hiked comes out, that's some bullish news that saves us from having a dip further down, and the crypto market will start to recover far sooner. So these are all things to keep your eyes on. And the last thing I want to point out to you from a TA standpoint is the stochastic RSI here has plenty of room to potentially go to the downside to get to oversold territory. So we could see selling today, tomorrow, over the weekend, maybe even Monday and Tuesday, right? And then we start to recover. So that's totally possible. And that is the TA macro update for right now.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Will. Do you have a final thought, or can we get a dolphin for the chat?
Final thought would be the bull market is not over. If this is a top, it's a relative top. Everything that's going to happen now in the next few red days are going to be a shakeout to shake out weak hands. I personally am in a position where my Morpho position, which is my largest position, is up. My Bitcoin position has been up for forever, ever. My Aerodrome position is down by quite a bit. I'm not selling it at all. I'm holding it. It's going to be fine. The liquidity that is coming for Bitcoin is coming. Strategic Bitcoin reserves, banking deregulation, FASB accounting rules, meaning that company is going to be adding it. Michael Saylor trying to buy $1 billion worth of it with his raising of an expansion of shares. Like, the amount of money in Bitcoin is going to go up, and Bitcoin is the rising tide that will raise all boats. A lot of that money is going to flow into altcoins, and your altcoin will have its day. It'll recover. Everything will be fine. So those are my final thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Watson.
Okay, I got to go now, guys. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good call. We'll see you in a minute. And that means it's just about time for all of us to take our dogs and ponies and ride them on out of here. And that'll be us for the weekend. But if you want more Rise Up Morning Show, the best place is where the show lives 24/7. Of course, I'm talking about the Rise Up Discord server. If you've never been there, it's a friendly, welcoming place. I have a tutorial video on my TikTok page with the step-by-step instructions with screenshots if you need help joining. And I do want to say one more time that these are our only accounts. If you get followed by an impersonator on TikTok, on Facebook, or when you join the Discord, somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, how's your trading going? I'm just checking in on my followers, anything like that. Do not answer them. It is not us. We will never, ever DM you first. We do that because we want to keep you safe. We want you to get in the Discord. We want you to get here so that you can know the real us, often imitated, never duplicated, and get in touch with all the free resources we have for you, as well as classes, coaching, premium membership to accelerate your crypto learning journey. The best way to learn about crypto is to get in a community, and our community is a global one. People are there all the time, helpful, happy to be here. The only thing missing is you. So, Alex, as we get ready to ride our dogs into the sunset, what are you thinking about this weekend? Is there anything that's caught your eye, got you excited? Georgia still have snow?
Oh, yeah. There's multiple inches on the ground. It's weird and freezing. Yeah, I would say
weird and freezing.
Weird and freezing. I am hoping and watching for markets to make an unnecessary move down right now. I posted, sold Solana at $285. Pretty close to the all-time high. I'm excitedly waiting for it to continue to drop so that I can put it back in there and end up with more SOL. Can
you highlight that just real quick, zoom in on it? Because I think people think you don't ever trade anything. You know, they think you are very conservative and strategic, yes. But I know you sold that top and I know you bought right back in. Tell us about that, the nuts and bolts of that trade and how it was super easy for you to have conviction in that.
So I have like a few things in my portfolio that I believe in long-term that if I were to accidentally end up with holding through the next bear market, I would be okay with it. There's only 3 of them. It's Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's Solana now. Solana is making an appearance in the long-term holds after changing my mind over the last, I would say, 18 months. Basically, the only way that I work and operate, I would not say that I sit here and day trade. I never look at charts. I don't do technical analysis at all. I just wait for things to look super green, and then I convert things into stable coins, and then I wait for things to look like just silly red, where everyone's losing their minds and freaking out, and all of the sentiment has changed, and everyone thinks it's crashing, it's going to die forever, and we're all done, and the whole thing's over. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that looks good to me. And then I'll rotate right back in, and all of a sudden, same amount of money is now more. It's a bigger position, and I'll wait for it to spike again. And if I'm like, yeah, that went up way too fast, I don't think this is sustainable. We just made a new all-time high, or there's some bad news coming or whatever. I think it's going to at least cool down or correct, and let's take profits again. And that's literally it. Just wait for the markets to be green. It sounds silly when you say it like that, because obviously that's what you want to do. It's not that easy. It took me years to be able to actually do that.
Thank you.
I mean, that's all I do.
Thank you. That's super helpful.
But I never look at I don't look at charts ever. I don't like try to track trend lines or do whatever. I'm just like, oh, it did 30% this week. Yeah, I'm going to sell some. Oh, it just fell 20%. Yeah, I'm going to buy some. That's it. I will say though, PSA, if you are new and joining the Discord or following us here, you will receive direct messages. They are always scams. Do not ever reply to any direct messages. Nobody legitimate will ever reach out to you in your DMs unsolicited like that. They will be asking you questions. How is the market treating you? What are you up to? How's it going? Lately, they don't even talk about that. They just try to start a conversation like, hey, I'm bored and I'm just picking random subscribers to reach out to and say hi to. During the TikTok ban drama, they were reaching out from our profiles telling people, hey, we are losing our platform and doing all this stuff. Like, if, help us, we're losing access to this, that, the other thing. Like, I need help with this, that, or the other thing. Or, like, hey, you're the lucky winner. I'm picking some random person to copy trade for and whatever, like anything. None of us are ever going to DM you. Discord, they are going to DM you in Discord. They're going to DM you here. They're going to DM you on Twitter. Wherever you are, wherever you talk about money on social media, you're going to get impersonators who look like creators trying to scam you. Just never reply to a DM and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
what they can do is annoy you. And that's it.
You're well met?
I'm well met, yeah.
He's well met. I'm well met. And I want to remind you one more time that we've got so much cool stuff in the Discord. We've got Will's TA class coming up. I'm going to launch the announcement like imminently after we close the show, maybe in an hour or so. It'll go to the Discord first. All of our members there. We'll get it a couple minutes before everybody publicly gets it. You'll be able to find it on the riseupmorningshow.com. I'll put a button there that says like Will's TA class. Sign up now. And don't fret if we sell out of the live course. You can get the recording. It's just as good, except, the recording is a little bit better because you do get to ask Will questions in person. It will absolutely 100% be valuable and helpful for you. And here's a pro tip. If you buy the recording or sign up for the course, you can get his TA guide at like a super discount. I think you can spend $20 out the door, walk away with that TA guide, the recording of the course forever. And it's a good deal. And if you are like, that's not in my budget, bro, don't try to sell me something. Hey, no problem. Cool. The Discord has a free TA channel. You can learn all the same things just by talking there. Might take a little longer, but you got time. We're early. And we will be back next Monday, same time, same place, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Can't wait to see you there. My friends, have a great weekend. Stay safe, be well, and until next time.